This is Terry Swoop, and I wanted to talk about how to avoid the friend zone. I don't care who you are, whether you're a man or a woman, you've been in a situation where you were put in the friend zone. And I just want to tell people how to avoid being put in the friend zone. Now, most people who will use the friend zone, they will use this person to take advantage of them. They'll use the person for money. They'll use the person as a shoulder to cry on, but they won't get into a relationship with the person. They'll try to make the person think that they really care about that person, that they really love that person, while the whole time they're just using them to get what they want. Now, I've seen women do this with men, and I've seen men do this with women. I think women are better at using this game than men are. When a man is putting a woman in the friend zone, they just look at them as being their side chick. And I think most of the women know they're a side chick. They're not the main woman that they're involved with. When women play this friend zone game, they will look at this man as a friend, and they will call him a friend. At no point in time do they say, we're in a relationship, that we're a couple. But they'll egg him on like they really care about him and that they really love him. While they're using him for money, they're using him for affection, but the whole time they're not really interested in being in a real relationship. I think how you avoid being in the friend zone is don't allow yourself to be taken advantage of. If a person is not willing to be in a real relationship, if a person is not willing to be in a committed relationship, then you have to tell them right off rip that, hey, I'm not just going to be used. I'm not just going to be taken advantage of. I want to be in a relationship. I want to be with you and only you. And not you dating somebody else and just looking at me as being a friend. I think as a person, you have to demand that. You have to put your foot down and demand that. And if they're not willing to meet that, then you got to move on to somebody else. A lot of people don't realize when they're being taken advantage of. They will give somebody their money. They will give somebody their car. They will give somebody everything. And they still don't realize they're being taken advantage of. And I think people need to wake up and realize that there's a difference between love and lust. Love is one thing, lust is another. Just because you're attracted to somebody doesn't mean you're in love with that person. And a lot of people confuse the two. They think if you're attracted to somebody, you must be in love with that person. And a lot of younger people don't understand the difference. Love is something else entirely. Love is something that you're willing to do something for that person. You're willing to die for that person. That's what real love is. It's not just about sexual attraction. It's not just about what this person can do for you. And a lot of younger people don't understand the difference between love and lust. And this is why they get put in the friend zone. This is why they get taken advantage of. Now, I've seen women do this to men, and I've seen men do this to women. But women are better at playing this game. Women are better at manipulating men than men are manipulating women. Typically, when a man is put in the friend zone, it's usually a nice guy. And that old saying that nice guys always finish last. In most cases, that's true. Because a lot of nice guys think if you're really nice to a woman, you're going to be able to get in a relationship with that woman. And what a lot of these nice guys don't realize, the nicer you are to a person, a lot of times they will take advantage of you. A lot of people look at niceness as a form of weakness. That's why I think you have to have a hard edge to you. You have to have a side to you that's going to put your foot down and demand respect. Demand a real relationship from that person. Because if you don't put your foot down and demand that this person be in a straightforward relationship with you, then they're going to take advantage of you. They're going to use you for everything you got. And this is why nice guys always finish last. When I was younger, I used to be like that. But as I got older, I started to realize you can only respect a woman who respects you. If the woman is not respecting you, then you can't respect her. I think the biggest misconception that a lot of younger men make is they think if they're just nice to a woman, if they're just respectful to a woman, this woman is going to return the favor. This woman is going to return the affection. But in most cases, they don't do that. They're going to take advantage of you. They're going to take your money. They're going to take your house. They're going to take your car. And then you're going to end up broke and penniless while she's running off with somebody else. This was why I think you should have an edge to you. Every person should have their tough side, and every person should have their nice side. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with being a nice guy, but you have to have that hard edge to you. You have to have that side to you that's going to let this woman know who's boss. Let this woman know that you're a man that's going to stand up for himself. Because if you don't stand up for yourself, she's going to take advantage of you. She's going to take advantage of you for everything you got. So I think people need to wake up and realize that being nice is not always a good thing. I think you should only be nice to somebody that's being nice to you. You should only be respectful to somebody that's being respectful to you. If they're disrespecting you, then you have to disrespect them. If they're treating you like shit, then you have to treat them like shit. This goes both ways. I can't tell you how many women I've came across that have been taken advantage of by men. When men put them in the friend zone, they put them down as the side chick, and the women go along with it. How many women I've seen throw their whole lives away trying to impress this man? I had one female friend who, she was going to college. She was a straight A student. Everything is going good for her. And she gets involved with this man who has 3 and 4 baby mamas. If you come across a man who has kids with 4 other women, that's not the type of man you want to get involved with. But a lot of these younger women, they look at these types of men who sleep around with a bunch of women as being cool, as being charismatic. And they buy into the bullshit. And he basically put her in the friend zone. He put her down as the side chick. And she went along with being the side chick. And he was a drug dealer. And then when he got arrested, the police came after her. And she lost her scholarship. She got kicked out of school. She lost everything behind this man. And it just goes to show that you have men who take advantage of women, and you have women who take advantage of men. It goes both ways. That's why when people talk about the friend zone, it's not just women taking advantage of men. It's also men taking advantage of women. So I think people need to wake up and realize who really cares about them and who's just taking advantage of them. People need to realize the difference. People need to understand what real love is. Because if you're with somebody while they're with somebody else, while they're having sex with numerous other people, that person doesn't love you. That person doesn't care about you. They're just taking advantage of you. And you got to stand up and say, enough is enough.